Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered what's flying overhead? High above the historic cities of Poland, vast plains of Poland, a remarkable sight is unfolding. French fighter jets, some of the most advanced military aircraft in the world, are currently patrolling these skies. They are not there by accident. They are not here for a simple air show. These patrols are part of a deliberate, coordinated, deeply significant mission. It's a story about alliances, promises kept between nations maintaining a delicate peace in an increasingly uncertain world. These jets represent a powerful symbol of unity, a very real shield against potential threats. The presence of these French aircraft, thousands of kilometers from their home bases, raises important questions. Why Poland? Why now? The answers are woven into the fabric of modern European history, and the security architecture that has kept the peace for decades. Understanding this mission requires us to look beyond the sleek metal powerful engines of the jets themselves. It requires us to understand the commitments countries make to one another. This isn't just a military exercise. It's the physical manifestation of a promise, a commitment to mutual defense that is being tested and proven in real time, high above the European continent. To understand why French jets are in Poland, we first need to talk about an organization called NATO. The acronym stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It was formed many years ago, back in 1949, in the aftermath of World War II. The world had been shattered by conflict. A group of 12 countries decided to band together. United States, Canada, United Kingdom, France. Their primary goal was simple but profound: to guarantee the freedom and security of all its members through political and military means. They essentially made a pact to protect each other. Think of NATO as a team of nations. If one member of the team is threatened or attacked, all the other members will come to its aid. This idea is known as collective defense. It creates a powerful deterrent, sending a clear signal to any potential adversary that an attack on one NATO country will be considered an attack on all of them. Over the years, the alliance has grown significantly. More countries, seeing the value of this security guarantee, have joined. Today, NATO is a much larger family of nations, including Poland, which joined the alliance in 1999, eager to anchor its future in the democratic West. So, when you see a French jet flying over Poland, you are witnessing NATO in action. Within the founding document of NATO, the Washington Treaty, there is one section that stands above all others in importance. It is known as Article 5. This is the heart of the alliance, the formal commitment that binds all the members together. Article 5 states that an armed attack against one or more of the allies in Europe or North America shall be considered an attack against them all. It is the ultimate security guarantee. If a NATO member country has its sovereignty and territory violated, it can invoke Article 5, and every other member of the alliance is obligated to come to its defense. This principle of an attack on one is an attack on all is what gives NATO its strength. It means that a smaller country with a more modest military has the backing of the entire alliance, including the immense power of members like the United States, the United Kingdom, and France. This has been an incredibly effective deterrent for over 75 years. Potential aggressors have to think very carefully before taking action against a NATO member, because they know they would not be facing just one country, but a powerful coalition of nations united in their resolve to defend each other. Article 5 has only been invoked once in the entire history of NATO. That was in response to the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks against the United States. Following the attacks, NATO allies stood shoulder to shoulder with America, offering military support and assistance for the subsequent operations in Afghanistan. The current air policing mission over Poland is directly linked to the spirit of Article 5. To fully grasp the importance of these air patrols, we need to look at a map of Europe. Poland occupies a critical piece of real estate. It serves as a geographic bridge between Western Europe and Eastern Europe. Historically, this location has made it a crossroads for trade and culture, but it has also placed it on the front line of major geopolitical shifts and conflicts. Its history is one of resilience, having endured invasions and occupations, which has forged a deep national commitment to sovereignty and security. Within the context of NATO, Poland is what is known as a frontline state. It shares a long border with Ukraine. It also borders Belarus. It borders the Russian exclave of Kaliningrad. This places Poland directly on the eastern edge of the North Atlantic Alliance. Any instability or conflict to its east has immediate implications for Poland's security, and by extension, for the security of all of NATO. Therefore, ensuring the integrity of Poland's borders and its airspace is not just a Polish concern, it is a priority for the entire alliance. The geography of this region presents unique challenges. The border with the Kaliningrad Oblast, a heavily militarized piece of Russian territory disconnected from the mainland, requires constant vigilance. Because of this strategic position, Poland has invested heavily in its own military modernization since joining NATO. The deployment of assets like French fighter jets adds another layer of sophisticated capability to the region's defense. The decision to ramp up air patrols over Poland is not happening in a vacuum. It's actually a direct response to the significant changes in the European security environment that have unfolded over the past few years. The full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia, which began in February 2022, fundamentally altered the sense of peace and stability that many in Europe had come to take for granted. This act of aggression, the largest conventional military conflict in Europe since World War II, created a new and urgent reality for NATO, particularly for the member states closest to the conflict. With a neighbor engaged in a brutal war, Poland found itself on the front lines of a humanitarian and security crisis. It has welcomed millions of Ukrainian refugees and has become the primary logistical hub for military and humanitarian aid flowing into Ukraine. This proximity to the war zone means that the risk of spillover, whether accidental or intentional, is a constant concern. There have been incidents where missiles have crossed into Polish territory, tragically resulting in casualties. These events serve as stark reminders of how close the conflict is and why a robust air defense is not a luxury, but a necessity. In response to this heightened threat environment, NATO activated its defensive plans and significantly increased its military presence along its entire eastern flank, from the Baltic Sea in the north to the Black Sea in the south. This initiative is known as NATO's Enhanced Vigilance Activities. The French air patrols over Poland are a key component of this broader NATO strategy. So, the answer to why now is clear. The security situation has changed dramatically. At the forefront of the French mission in Poland is a truly remarkable aircraft, the Dassault Rafale. This is not just any fighter jet, it is what is known as an omni-role aircraft. Basically, this means it is designed from the ground up to perform a wide variety of missions simultaneously. It can conduct air-to-air combat, ground attacks, intelligence gathering, nuclear deterrence missions. This versatility makes it one of the most capable and sought-after fighter jets in the world. When the French Air and Space Force deploys the Rafale, it is sending its very best. The Rafales operating from bases in Poland are equipped for the specific task of air policing. This involves carrying a combination of air-to-air missiles such as the MICA, the long-range Meteor. These missiles allow the pilots to engage potential threats from a safe distance if necessary. The aircraft is also fitted with a powerful AESA, or Active Electronically Scanned Array radar, and a suite of advanced sensors. This system, known as Spectra, can detect, identify, and track multiple targets from very long ranges, giving the pilot exceptional situational awareness of the airspace around them. The pilots flying these missions are among the most highly trained in NATO. It's not just the jets and pilots. These dedicated professionals work tirelessly on the ground to ensure the aircraft are fueled, armed, and perfectly maintained, ready to fly at a moment's notice. This entire contingent, operating from a Polish airbase, represents a self-sufficient and highly effective military unit. A typical day for a French pilot on the NATO air policing mission in Poland begins long before they climb into the cockpit. The day starts with detailed intelligence briefings. Pilots and support staff gather to review the latest information. Air traffic, weather patterns, any known military or unusual activity. Once briefed, a pair of pilots will be assigned to Quick Reaction Alert or QRA duty. This means they are on standby, ready to scramble. If the NATO Control Center detects an unidentified aircraft, the order to scramble is given. From that moment, the clock is ticking. Pilots race to their fully armed Rafale jets and can be airborne in just a few minutes, streaking towards the sky to investigate. Once airborne, the pilots are guided by NATO controllers on the ground who direct them towards the aircraft of interest. This is called an intercept. The primary goal of an intercept is to make visual identification. The French pilots will fly alongside the other aircraft, identify its type and nationality, and attempt to establish communication. On the ground at the Polish base, French and Polish personnel work side by side every day. The French detachment relies on Poland for logistical support. Polish air traffic controllers and command staff coordinate closely with French counterparts. This daily interaction builds personal relationships. It fosters mutual respect. It is a continuous, professional, and highly disciplined operation that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The French fighter jets patrolling the skies over Poland are more than just a display of military hardware. They are sentinels of peace, flying in a turbulent world. Their presence is a quiet but firm statement of resolve, a physical embodiment of the NATO alliance's solemn promise of collective defense. As we have seen, this mission is the culmination of history, strategy, and current events. It is rooted in the post-World War II desire for collective security, made necessary by Poland's strategic position, and activated by the stark new realities of the conflict in Ukraine. These patrols are fundamentally defensive in nature. Their purpose is not to provoke, but to prevent conflict. By ensuring the security and sovereignty of Polish airspace, they reduce the risk of miscalculation or accidental escalation along NATO's eastern flank. The vigilance of the French pilots and their Polish hosts provides a shield, under which millions of people can live their lives in peace and security. It is a constant, watchful presence that offers reassurance to allies and serves as a clear deterrent to any potential aggressor, reinforcing the message that NATO territory is inviolable. The teamwork between France and Poland is a testament to the strength and unity of the alliance. The roar of a Rafale's engines over the Polish countryside may seem loud, but it is the sound of a promise being kept, a sound that, for the citizens of NATO, is the reassuring sound of security and peace.